So today is the most auspicious day, the appearance day of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. It's always nice to dwell in the life so we can learn something and we hear something maybe wants to implement in our life. That's the only way that we can prove that I have listened something. If we cannot act on it, my Guru Maharaj used to say, you hear from one ear and goes out other. Hearing means acting on it. So Vrindavan Das Thakur appearance day today, festival of Vrindavan Das Thakur, the author of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. At Modadrum Dweep of Navdvip Dham is the birthplace and ancestral home of Srimati Malini Devi, wife of Srivas Pandit. And Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur's mother's name was Sri Narayani Devi. And Narayani Devi was the daughter of Srivas Thakur's brother. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed his identity in the house of Srivas, showing his true self to the assembled devotees there, Narayani Devi was only a 4-year-old girl. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, it is written, the golden moon, Sri Gauranga, revealed himself as the soul of all souls. And at that time, he ordered Narayani to chant the name of Krishna. Although she was only 4-year-old, she became mad with love of God and crying, "O Krishna!" She swooned in ecstasy as she laid on the ground in trance of bliss. Her eyes were filled with tears and overwhelmed with the divine love. So Narayani Devi's son was Vrindavan Das Thakur. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, he has written of how Narayani was the object of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's affection. As a result of her great piety, Narayani would get whatever remnants the Lord might leave after eating. Although she was only an unschooled little girl, this is something very nice. That, all education, everything, I think if we have the love of God, everything, life becomes successful. The Lord would favor Srivas Thakur niece by giving her the leftover of food touched by his holy lips. Indeed, it was by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya that Vrindavan Das Thakur took birth in the womb of Narayani. Sri Gauranga and Sri Nityananda were the very life and soul of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Gaura Ganodes Deepika described that Narayani was previously Kilimbika, the younger sister of Lord Sri Krishna's maidservant, Ambika. So name is also Mechi, Ambika and Kilimbika. It is also explained that Ambika became Malini Devi, the wife of Srivas Pandit. Therefore, Ambika and Kilimbika reappeared in Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastime as Malini Devi and Narayani Devi in their same roles as maidservants. So Narayani Devi was just 4-year-old when Gauranga Mahaprabhu bestowed Krishna Prem upon her. She was staying with Srivas Pandit and Malini Devi at Srivas Angan, where the Sankirtan movement took place. Every night used to be a constant chanting and dancing throughout the night. So one day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly appeared there in the mood of Supreme Lord, shouting, I'm him, I'm him. He burst into Shiva's Pandit temple room and revealed himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the second and thunderstruck Shiva's Pandit. I visited in Mayapur, Shiva Sangan. It's a beautiful place, beautiful garden around it, wonderful pastimes, and I saw that house. I remember that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was dancing, Shiva's Pandit's son died. But Shiva's Pandit even never showed that expression on his face so that dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can become stopped. What a great personality. How much control on the senses can be happen if you truly become the lover of Krishna. So let's see where I was. Yeah, that Lord shouted, I'm him, claiming to be the Supreme Personality Godhead. And he burst into Shiva's Pandit temple room and revealed himself as the Supreme Personality Godhead to the shaken and thunderstruck Shiva's Pandit. Mahaprabhu then called for everyone in Shiva's Pandit household, including Narayani, the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So after assuming everyone, there was nothing to fear. After assuring everyone, there was nothing to fear from Chand Kazi's soldiers. Gauranga Mahaprabhu divulged his plan to defeat the Kazi and his ban on Harinam Sankirtan. First, as a super soul, he would change the Kazi's heart. Then, if necessary, he would defeat all the Kazi's priests to establish supremacy of chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So actually, in this, our old literature, in Puranas, the Mahamantra was like, beginning like Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And the reason was given that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed to Hare Krishna. And the reason is given that in old traditions, all the mantras, any mantra we want to chant, it has to be perfect to get the benefit. Otherwise, you get some reaction to that if you don't pronounce properly. There is strictly rules and regulations to chant each Vedic mantras. And knowing the condition of the people in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reversed it. So then it became no condition. You can chant anywhere, everywhere. Even while you sleep, even while you are passing the stool and urine. No conditions for this Mahamantra. What a great boon. And to prove the supremacy, he would make all people and animals chant the Hare Krishna in sublime ecstasy. Seeing Narayani, Gaura Hari then said, Narayani, chant Krishna's name and cry in ecstasy. And at this little, Narayani became agitated with spiritual emotions and cried out, Oh Krishna, while rolling around absorbed in Krishna's prem. Haribol. So Gaura Hari always gave Narayani special attention whenever he saw her, and personally gave her betel nuts remnants from his mouth. Sometime after Mahaprabhu left Mayapur, Narayani married and moved to another village. She was pregnant when her husband suddenly died. And this is when Malini Devi brought her to Mamgachi to live. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur is an incarnation of Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, Veda Vyas, wrote the Vedas. He then wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, the mature fruit of the Vedas that describe Lord Krishna's wonderful pastimes. Then, as Vrindavan Das Thakur, Vyasadeva wrote Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, previously known as Chaitanya Mangal. It described Krishna's pastimes as Gaurahari in Navadvip, Mayapur. This most enchanting rendition of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's pastimes gives the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhakti, the devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna. And our great Acharya Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote in his commentary to Chaitanya Bhagavat that at the ancestral home of Malini Devi, Vrindavan Das played as a small boy growing up. There he was nourished and cared for just like a valuable gem. Vrindavan Das Thakur took initiation from Lord Nityananda, and at 16 years of age, and went traveling and preaching with Nityananda Prabhu. When they were in Danur, in the district of Burdwan, Lord Nityananda told him to stay and preach there. So he never personally saw Lord Chaitanya. Haribol. He went to the first Guru Purnima festival at Kheturi Gram. Remember who hosts this? Narottam Das Thakur. Accompanied by Jahana Devi, wife of Nityananda Prabhu, the eternal consort of Lord Nityananda. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami shows his supreme homage and gratitude by honoring Vrindavan Das Thakur with the appellations Vyas in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 2082. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami says, Vrindavan Das Thakur is Lord Nityananda's favorite devotee, and therefore he is the original Vyasadeva in describing the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Srila Vyasadeva told Sri Krishna's pastimes in Bhagavatam and other Puranas, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur described Chaitanya Lila in Chaitanya Bhagavat. The humble heart of Krishna Das Kaviraj pour out more praises of Vrindavan Das Thakur as follows. Hearing Chaitanya Bhagavat destroy all misfortune. By reading Chaitanya Bhagavat, one will understand the glories of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. And he will attain the highest perfection of knowledge, pure love of Krishna. Haribol. Since such a wonderful book could not be written by a human being, it seems that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself has spoken it through the mouth of Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. I offer millions of respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of Vrindavan Das Thakur. By compiling such a valuable book, he has delivered everyone from the cycle of birth and death. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, 8.33 to 42, if anybody would like to dwell more onto this. And Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur Samadhi is in 64 Samadhis area of Sridham Vrindavan. So we pray at his lotus feet to bestow His kind mercy upon all of us, so we can also imbibe the true feeling and separation from Krishna. This is our original position, to remain as the eternal servant of Krishna. And in that situation only we get full protection from Krishna. We are miserable in this material life because we have not maintained our Swarup. Jivevare Swarupa Hai Krishna Re Nitya Das. As long as we will maintain that mood and our activities prove that we are servant of God, then all the protection is provided. So I think on this auspicious day, we should get the blessings of those personality who already has attained the love of God. And by their mercy only, we may have access to this beautiful, wonderful experience in our life. Once we get little glimpse of, then our life will become totally different. All this allurement of this material world will become very obvious, and it will never attract us to move from serving the divine couple by chanting their holy name, especially in the morning. We should be so much fixed in our practice. When I was talking to devotee yesterday, that fixed the time and never deviated. Time will come, Krishna will run the test, that you may not get even 1 minute of rest. But don't miss out the time that you have promised Krishna to chant His holy name. When we do this extreme austerities, that will attract the heart of Krishna right away. Otherwise, at our comfortable zone, we will like to chant when the days are good. Some days we are sick, some day we have other important things come. But what is there to do at 2 o'clock in the morning? Tell me. Absolutely nothing. The whole world is sleeping so nicely. There is no siren of the police car. No ambulance runs. It's so soothing time to relish the holy name. But we have to beg the mercy and maintain that association with those. Then and then we will get the taste. So we have somewhat another 7 minutes. So we will continue reading the Krishna book. I will read one paragraph because we have one day we took off. Being requested by King Yudhishthira, Krishna agreed to stay in Hastinapur for how many months? Remember? Anybody wants to say? How many months Krishna stays in Hastinapur because of the request of Yudhishthira Maharaj? 4 months. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in the Chaturmas, he stayed in that Venkata Bhatt house, right? Similarly, by the request of Yudhishthira Maharaj, Krishna also stayed during the Chaturmas in Hastinapur. The 4 months of the rainy season are called Chaturmasya. And during this period, the generally itinerant preachers and brahmanas stop at a certain place and live under rigid regulative principles. Although Lord Krishna is above all regulative principles, he agreed to stay at Hastinapur out of affection for the Pandavas. Krishna is so kind. Taking this opportunity of Krishna's residence in Hastinapur, all the citizens of the town got the privilege of seeing him now and then. And thus they also merge into transcendental bliss simply by seeing Lord Krishna eye to eye. So one day we continue now. One day while Arjuna was practicing Arjuna was practicing Arjuna's special chariot is always marked with the picture of Hanuman, and therefore his name is also Kapidwaj. Kapi means Hanuman and Dwaj means flag. So thus Arjuna went to the forest with his bow and infallible arrows. He dressed himself with suitable protective garments, for he was to practice killing many enemies. He specifically entered that part of the forest where there were many tigers, deer, and various other animals. Krishna did not go with Arjuna to practice animal killing because he doesn't have to practice anything. He is self sufficient. He accompanied Arjuna to see how he was practicing because in the future he would have to kill many enemies. Remember the wonderful pastime that Sachinandan Swami Maharaj shared with all of us, that Arjuna, under the guidance of Drona, his bow was so heavy even. He needed to become so physically strong to even lift that bow. And to string it, it's much more difficult. But through the practice and getting the blessings, he continued. And it says that he was practicing from morning to the late night. And one day, when he finished, he was so tired because constantly he was practicing. So if he wants to perfect any art, it needs a lot of attention. So if we want to perfect our chanting, we have to give lots of time, practice, practice, practice. So Arjuna, one day he was so tired, so he just started eating his meal in the evening because he was so exhausted for the practice from early morning to the late night. And the big storm, at that time there was no electricity, but still when the wind comes, those small ghee can also get off. So the storm, it became pitch dark, that Arjuna cannot see anything. But he realized that he was still eating the food. So the thought came in his mind that in the pitch dark, still I can see the food. I should be able to see the object. So then, since that day, the realization come, and he converted that night time also to practice shooting. Haribol. So after entering the forest, Arjuna killed many tigers, boars, bisons, gavayas, a kind of wild animals, rhinoceros, deer, hares, porcupines, and similar other animals, which he pierced with his arrows. Some of the dead animals which were fit to be offered in the sacrifice was carried by the servant and sent to King Yudhishthira. Other ferocious animals such as tigers and rhinoceros were killed only to stop disturbance in the forest. Since there are many sages and saintly persons who are residents of the forest, it is the duty of the Kshatriya king to keep even the forest in a peaceful conditions for living. This peaceful condition is required. I was talking to Manjunath Prabhu yesterday. You know, Sometimes I don't late stay at the temple because I have to get up and I need to have enough rest. But when I see the devotee so sincere, when you look at the even face index of Manjunath Prabhu, he is so elevated soul, actually. And so I was speaking to him that Prabhuji, take as long as time is take, but chant quality rounds from the beginning. He was so nice, listening to us so nicely. And we have a wonderful conversation that Prabhu, I saw their sons was coming. It's like in 12, 14-year-old. So I told Manjunath Prabhu that please now, treat them like a friend. I was talking to Manoj Kapoor Prabhu also, similar fashion, when I was honoring Prasad. And Manoj Prabhu told me, but Prabhu, you said that you will never care about your children. I said that was a different time. I don't know, my kids never complained and it went by like that. But now I think, and this is my message to all of you, these days the children are getting bombarded like anything. When they go to the school, they are facing so many difficulties. Don't think that it is easy. They may not tell you the whole thing. And when they come home, and if the parents, if they make any mistake and they will become upset with them, just think about the situation, what our children are going through. They are not getting support from outside. They are not getting support from the home. Terrible situation, terrible. So I was telling Manjunath Prabhu also that please now, your grown-up children, treat them as a friend. Ask them. And without even asking, you find out their passion, where their interest is, and support those activities. If somebody wants to play some game, then ask them, hey, when is your game? I want to come and join, I want to watch how you play. Dedicate little time to them. Make them a totally friend. And never become angry with the children. Because if they say something, our tendency is what we will say, oh, this is common thing, you don't know? Why did you do this? It's so simple. And then they will never come to you again, because they knows what they are going to receive from you, not the support, but just the criticism and chastisement. So my humble request to all the parents, be kind to your children. Who knows, I was telling Manjunath Prabhu, if you will have a loving relations, they will remember you. Who knows that we are going to have another meal in our life? There is no guarantee. Vraj Vinod Father Prabhu left. Fraction of second, no notice will come to us. So at least create the room. And I told Manjunath Prabhu that, I hold the meeting in my house, and we said, nobody will shout in the house. And we are practicing. And our life has become so peaceful. Everybody try to help each other whatever they can. No complaint. Have a peaceful atmosphere in your family. Loving relationship. If you cannot love your family, how can you love Krishna? So please, this verse is for the parents. Take care of your children. They need your help. They are suffering. Open up. Take them for a walk. Try to understand what they have to go through, inquire, and support them. Then they will be, they will come to you when they have a difficulty. But if they don't see the support from the parent, they will not disclose to who? Nobody. and then they will become distressful. All kind of a disease will come. They will become totally. I forgot that word, what they called it. People get depression. Depression will come to them because there is where to vent out those feelings. They are suffering. This material world is totally. I don't know how,